the list just came out. The school accountability list, the failing school list, just was publicly disclosed to everyone. And 8 schools in Montgomery County are on the list. Bellingrath Middle School, Brewbaker Middle School, Capitol Heights Middle School, the Children's Center, Floyd Elementary School, Goodwyn Middle School, McKee Middle School, and Southlawn Middle School. Very interesting list because no high school made the list. Interesting, being that Lee and Lanier and JD have been on the list consecutively for almost a decade. And it should make you parents and guardians wonder. And I take nothing away from the children and their potential, but seriously, y'all, I mean, seriously, none of the high schools. And let me just tell you how manipulation of numbers would have it, have someone who is not familiar with data not understand what's going on. There are 2 or 3 things that's going on with this bogus failing school Alabama Accountability Act, along with the School Accountability Act and the results that were given. You had 8 schools to make the failing list. In Montgomery, we have 11 middle schools. However, take away Pace, which is an alternative school. Take away Baldwin, Floyd, and Carr. Those are magnet schools. And most people don't know Carr is a magnet school because they don't let that little secret out, but to the ones they want to know, but it is. Bellingrath, Brewbaker, Capitol Heights, Georgia Washington, Goodwyn, McKee, and Southlawn are 7 traditional middle schools. 6 of those, 6 out of 7, made the failing list. That's horrible. And what is just so noticeable, none of the high schools. Tommy Bice said the Alabama Accountability Act defines a failing school as one that has been designated as failing by the state superintendent of education or until June of 2017, listed 3 or more times in the last 6 years in the bottom 6% of performance on the state standardized tests in reading and math. Dr. Bice, Superintendent Thompson said in a meeting in was it May, early May, that the reading program that they set up, that everybody thought in the county that we were doing, where the children were performing so well, had a little data issues with it, and it wasn't quite right in their reporting. So once you understand, parents, guardians, and the community, that statistics is a matter of perception, and when you understand how to use variables and manipulate numbers, you can get any results you would like. It's a systemic issue that is going to be brought to the light in a moment. But these are tactics that individuals use to resegregate systems. This is a great, I'm glad Dr. Bice waited so long to prove a point. With this Alabama Accountability Act, they're giving tax credits, $3,500, to individuals who would like to go to private schools. Well, it's interesting that none of the failing schools, none of them are high schools in Montgomery County. I make that point because they have that new East Side High School, And it would be brought out that, oh, none of the high schools are made felon list. You all can stay at those high schools. But they've been on the felon list for so many years. You guys, you can transfer because they're still Title I schools. And these schools that are on the felon list now are Title I schools. Each school has 20% funding allocated to provide transportation to another Title I school. So if you want to transfer your child to a non-failing middle school, parents, guardians, you may do so. And it doesn't matter if it's in your area or even out of the county. They have to provide transportation. That's called parent choice. What Tommy Bice didn't tell you is he also has a school accountability waiver request that's at the US Department of Education. And if you log on to the US Department of Education website, and I'll post it on my Facebook page, I did before, you can see where he requested that he would be able to stop the 20% allocation. That's what he's wanting, to provide transportation to you parents for allowing you all to go to another school. He wants to just have all that money in one little pot, and also stop the funding for SES, that's supplemental educational services, free tutoring that they give. So don't be fooled by Tommy Bice either. This Title I funding is very serious to them. When you have 130 something school system, 132, 133 in the state of Alabama, and you talking about most of them will be Title I systems, because Alabama is a poor state. He'll have his own discretion to use that Title I funding if the U.S. Department of Education approves his waiver. That's why I need your support and what I'll be posting in a few days, because we don't want them to stop giving children in the state of Alabama and parents a choice to go to another public school that is not failing. If they're giving parents who can afford private schools a $3,500 tax credit, they should give parents a choice, alternative, to go to any other school they want. They're receiving federal funding. Make them use it in a way that it is supposed to be used, and don't let Tommy Bice get that waiver approved so that he can have all that money at his discretion to do what he wants to do. Don't be bamboozled by Mr. Bice. I would have rather Dr. Pouncey would have been the state superintendent. I just don't know what's going on. And we still don't know about the grade changing results. So this is what I'm saying. Most of the ones who are alleged in Montgomery County to be involved with the grade changing scandal have been rehired, and in some cases been promoted. So these are the games that they're playing. They're trying to resegregate these schools. It's a tactic they're using by manipulating data. This is a systemic problem, issue that the U.S. Department of Education, and I know some of my friends, you don't want to put government in everything. Well, they're taking government money. It's okay that y'all want to fight the government on different issues, but when you start taking the government money, you should be accountable to them, fiscally responsible to them if you're accepting their money. Otherwise, stop accepting their money. Now, we'll see how far y'all get along with that. You know you're not going to do that. So bottom line, we need to keep our eye on this accountability plan and naming these schools as failing. This is a tactic, and if y'all can't see through it and don't understand that something in the milk ain't white, something wrong with you. You're a failure to yourself. Now, I need y'all to stand up on this. We're going to be making some complaints with the U.S. Department of Education. We need an outside source to come to Alabama to see what's going on in this education system, because clearly they're leaving all students behind.